You still have many decades of radical change ahead of you. Nobody can predict the specific changes we will witness in the future. Any particular scenario is likely to be far from the truth. If somebody describes the world of the mid-21st century to you, and it sounds like science fiction, it is probably false. But then again, if somebody describes the world of the mid-21st century to you and it doesn't sound like science fiction, it is certainly false. We cannot be sure of the specifics. Change itself is the only certainty. Such profound change may well transform the basic structure of life. In the first part of life, you accumulated information, developed skills, constructed a worldview, and built a stable identity. In the second part of life, you relied on your accumulated skills to navigate the world, earn a living, and contribute to society. By the middle of the 21st century, accelerating change plus longer lifespans will make this traditional model obsolete. Life will come apart at the seams, and there will be less and less continuity between different periods of life. Who am I? Will be a more urgent and complicated question than ever before. This is likely to involve immense levels of stress. For change is almost always stressful, and after a certain age, most people just don't like to change. When you are 15, your entire life is change. Your body is growing, your mind is developing, your relationships are deepening. By the time you are 50, you don't want change, and most people have given up on conquering the world. You prefer stability. You have invested so much in your skills, your career, your identity, and your worldview that you don't want to start all over again. But in the 21st century, you can't afford stability. If you try to hold on to some stable identity, job, or worldview, you risk being left behind as the world flies by you with a whoosh. Humans as individuals, and humankind as a whole, will increasingly have to deal with things nobody ever encountered before, such as super-intelligent machines, engineered bodies, algorithms that can manipulate your emotions with uncanny precision, rapid man-made climate cataclysms, and the need to change your profession every decade. What is the right thing to do when confronting a completely unprecedented situation? How should you act when you are flooded by enormous amounts of information and there is absolutely no way you can absorb and analyze it all? How do you live in a world where profound uncertainty is not a bug, but a feature? To survive and flourish in such a world, you will need a lot of mental flexibility and great reserves of emotional balance. You will have to repeatedly let go of some of what you know best and learn to feel at home with the unknown. Unfortunately, teaching kids to embrace the unknown while maintaining their mental balance is far more difficult than teaching them an equation in physics or the causes of the First World War. You cannot learn resilience by reading a book or listening to a lecture. Teachers themselves usually lack the mental flexibility that the 21st century demands, since they themselves are the product of the old educational system. So, the best advice I can give a 15-year-old stuck in an outdated school somewhere in Mexico, India, or Alabama is, don't rely on the adults too much. Most of them mean well, but they just don't understand the world. In the past, it was a relatively safe bet to follow the adults, because they knew the world quite well, and the world changed slowly. But the 21st century is going to be different.